How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be doing a little story time. You know, I thought that I'd make a new world to talk about it. Maybe we can build a house. There's some things in a relationship that you just can't change. And that's just something that you're going to have to accept. The person that you think that you're falling in love with might not always be exactly what you want them to be, who you want them to be, or what you want them to be. And that's just something that is going to be, you know. You can't force someone to be a certain way or make them feel like they need to be a certain way for you. They have to want to feel that for themselves. The reason I bring that up is, well, I've been struggling in my personal life, learning to accept that for myself. I've made a lot of mistakes with the choices I've made for the people I want to love. And I've done a lot of expecting that this person is going to be the perfect person for me no matter what. But that's just something that you can't make be true. It has to become true with time. This person that I'm talking about makes mistakes, just like we all do. Some of them you might think that are unforgivable in the moment. Some of them that feel like it's something you can't come back from. But to be honest, if you're a good person, you can forgive them before it's really even damaged you. I think because of the things that she did to me, it's harder to forgive her. But I do. I do forgive her. It's not completely her fault, in my opinion, that the person that she is might not be compatible with the person that I am. Although I do believe that there's pieces of her that still need to be better for anybody, not just me. When we stopped talking, she wanted me to wait for her and be comfortable without me so that she could become the person that she wants to be in singlehood. Now, of course, this was before I found out that she actually got a new boyfriend, which was something I didn't even know. I never got the leisure to even call her my girlfriend. We were never official. But, when I did find that out, it didn't go very well. I made some decisions that were probably not in my best mindset. And as a Christian, me personally, I know that I can do better than what I did do. And to explain what happened, you know, I had originally gone out to go on a drive because I just didn't want to deal with the thought of it, because it bothered me deeply. But I let the anger eat me up, and I made my way to her house after visiting her workplace because I decided I was going to confront her with what I had found out, since she had basically lied to me, telling me, you know, that she was going to become who she wanted to be when she was single, and then boom, there she is with a new man within the same week that, well, I mean, she had just been telling me she loves me, and that she's sad that we can't work out. I think that's the part of it that kind of sucks the most, is being lied to. I didn't even care when I finally did see him. By the grace of God himself, when I did pull up to her house, I began writing a note, basically a fuck you note, saying that, you know, she wouldn't be hearing from me again, ever again, and that this note is my final goodbye as a way of saying I know what you did, and I won't stand for it, even if she didn't care, really, because if she cared, she probably would have waited even a little bit, but it was apparently she was still flirting with him and talking to him while we were together. So, did she ever really care? I don't think so. I don't think she did. But I thought she did, and I loved her. Well, I finished writing the notes, and by the grace of God, not just she pulls up, but he pulls up. And I don't know if it was a good thing that he pulled up or a bad thing, to be honest, because I didn't plan on what happening. I never put my hands on him or anything. He was a very good fellow. He was a good guy. I wasn't going to take my anger out on him. He didn't even know I existed, which is even worse because she worked with him. She works with him. So, not knowing me is almost like odd to me when I would go visit her. That's how little my presence was known there. But it was as well, because there are some girls there that know me from past relationships. Not that I dated them, but they knew people I knew. And, you know, they had a pretty shitty opinion of me, saying I'm insane, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a bad person. Which, I mean, maybe I am in some ways, but the person I was when these people who knew me knew of me, and the person that I am now are two very different people. You know, and I've grown up a lot in the past few years, whether it's through struggle or if it's through pain. I've tried to become the best version of me possible, and I still have a long way to go, even with my walk with Christ. But I think what I pride myself on is that I do want to be the best me possible. And I probably will not stop being who I am. For anyone. I will always try to prosper in being the person that is forgiving and kind and loving no matter the situation. And even now, after finding out all of this, I still forgive her. If you're watching this, I still forgive you. I know you might not forgive me for what I did, though. Now you might be wondering, what did I do? Well, since he was right there, and since she was just talking about how she loves me and that she can't do this without me, and, you know, this and that, literally less than a week ago. Actually, exactly a week ago. I called her out on it, right there in front of him. I made it clear to him that, you know, this person that he's dating is conniving behind his back, talking to other men, people who've made love to her, people who have a story with her. And, at first he was very thankful, you know. He was glad that I was willing to, tell him all about what's been happening behind his back. He wanted proof of her talking to me in certain ways, and I provided that because she had been. She was right there behind his back talking to me about the things that no man would want to see his significant other talking to another man about. So I showed him, and of course she was in the car with him at this point. Apparently she never loved me, and that I was a fling and I was annoying and I got on her nerves, and she was trying to get rid of me the whole time, which I know isn't true because she's the one that was calling my workplace, talking about how much she misses me and she can't do this without me, whispering sweet nothings into my ear, if you will, which kind of puts like a bad feeling in my stomach thinking back on now, knowing that behind my back she already had someone else in mind. So I confronted her and I made things clear. She was using that voice. No, I didn't. No, what are you talking about? You're such a liar. You're insane. Everyone at work says you're insane. You know, just using that fucking voice that only liars use to try and make themselves sound like the other person is going absolutely crazy saying the things that they're saying. There's nothing you can believe about this person. Just look at them. They're fucking crazy. And I wasn't over the top or anything. Check it out. Pink sheet. Cool. She still holds a piece of my heart. You know, the person that I thought was better than anyone else. You know, that person still exists in my mind somewhere. It might not be the person she is, but it's the person I thought she was. And that's the person I still love. When you got to know her, she was a very timid woman who just wanted somebody to take care of her. But she allowed her inner demons to be her spokesperson sometimes. It's clear that because of the, the unfortunate beginnings of her life when it came to men, that validation was something that she deeply cares for, and when she can't get it from one man, there's another out there who will give her the attention she needs and seeks. Whether it's me or not, there will be another. And after this gentleman that she's with, there may be another. But he was very kind, and I treated him with respect. You know, he didn't know I existed. Why should I be mad at him? You know? I wasn't mad at him at all. In fact, I was thankful for him. Yeah, he was very, very willing. He wanted to hear what was I talking about, you know, like she would say I was lying in front of him, and that, you know, she never loved me and all this and that, and that I'm insane and we were just a fling. And well, I put that to shame. You know, I made it pretty clear to her and to him that isn't true. You know, I mean, weren't you just calling my workplace, talking about how much you miss me and how hard it is without me? So she was pretty upset I showed up to her house. I didn't plan on any of this stuff happening. I didn't plan on him showing up or her even being there, really. I just wanted to leave a couple notes that were heartfelt and a little aggressive that said, you know, basically, fuck you. I know what you did. Don't worry, you won't hear from me again. And I think I'm a little bit happier that he was there, because it gave me a chance to really get my thoughts out on my feelings. And I feel a lot more of the weight that was on my shoulders is gone. I think that the depression of the situation is still very deep for me. Just knowing that she moved on so quickly from me. And, you know, everyone tells me she never really loved me, if this was the case. But that's not something that's easy to accept. And I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there that feel the same way about their people that they've lost. People that they loved and didn't get the same treatment from. Do I blame her for moving on? No. She clearly has issues with being alone. Something that I've had to learn to be comfortable with. And it wasn't easy for me to get comfortable with that. It's something that is a struggle. You know, you have to learn this behavior, and I don't think that she's become old enough yet to learn the behavior. It's not something that just easily comes to people. You have to go through something really hard, and I thought maybe our situation was hard enough, but maybe this will put things in perspective for her about how we treat the people that we love and what the correct thing to do is when you do leave somebody. You can't abuse saying I love you to people, because love isn't something that should be conditional, something that if I'm giving you something then and now, that's when I deserve it back from you. Love is something that's stagnant, impatient, and waits. And I don't think that was something that she particularly wanted to do. She doesn't want to be patient or wait. She just wanted to be cared about. I don't hate her at all. I don't envy him for being with her at all. I'm just sad that it had to end this way of always, and that person that I wanted to be the everything for can't be. Does that mean I don't think that she could be that person eventually one day? No, I believe she can change one day. But forgiving her and accepting her back into my life as that person I believe to be the one are two very different scenarios. I don't think I should accept her back into my life. I don't think it'll do either of us any good. By accepting her back into my life, it's basically telling her that what she did was okay. And I don't think I can do that either. Because if I give her that leisure and I tell her, with my actions that what she did is okay, and I will take her back and I'll love her, she could do it again. That's the last thing I think I need, is to let somebody I loved hurt me the same way more than once. Growth is a interesting thing. It doesn't move left and right. It's kind of a circle, or like a squiggly line. Sometimes you'll fall back and you'll think you're doing better, but really you're not. I don't think I can do that to myself again. I can't accept something back into my life that's truly hurt me. But don't get me wrong, I believe that in time, the person she wants to be for somebody else will be. She didn't want to commit to me, and that's okay, I understand. You know, I expect a real relationship. I expect love in a relationship. I'm an adult, you know. I'm not looking for a girl to play around with. I'm looking for somebody that I can grow with and I can be happy with, that I can be more deepened in my faith with. I don't want to play around. I want to be cared about. I think that's a realization that a lot of people like me need to come to, is that being loved and being cared about can sometimes be two different things, two different concepts. Yeah, I confronted them. Not him, really. I mean, he really didn't do anything. He was a good guy. She said she never loved me, that I'm insane, and that, you know, I never meant anything to her, really. But I mean, I knew that wasn't true. I called her out on it not being true. He asked for proof that she had been talking to me and saying I love you and all these other things in recent time, and I proved it to him that just last Monday she was texting me, I love you, can't do this without you. And he gave me a good ol' thank you, that he will probably be leaving her. Of course, I told him, yeah, right, buddy. I don't see that happening anytime soon. You work together. You're gonna have to see her pretty much every day. You're not gonna fucking leave her. Be real with me. Doesn't matter how she treated you if you get to have sex with her, right? And maybe that was wrong on my part to say something like that, because that's not the case for everybody. But I let it be the case for me. But yeah, I guess the moral of the story is to not accept people doing things to hurt you just because you love them. If I had accepted that behavior and I let it be, and didn't allow myself time to grow from it, and be a better me from it, what am I doing? Maybe it would have been smart of me to not go to her house and to leave her alone and let her enjoy her newfound relationship and let it fail on its own. I knew she would have came back if that was the case, but I made her hate me instead. But it wasn't because if I can't have her, no one can, really. That wasn't particularly what went through my mind during this. It was more of the fact that if she's going to hurt me, I'm going to hurt her. I mean, it wasn't even ever supposed to be involving him. I was just going to tell her that she's lost me. I'm not waiting for her. This isn't happening to me. I'm not doing this. Instead, God had different plans for me. And I guess that's just something that I'm willing to accept. Finally, all I have to say before I finish off this quaint little house I've been working on is that I love you. I forgive you. I'm sorry that I damaged your new relationship if I did. And I hope that that girl that we both know you want to be does get the chance to shine eventually. Whether it's for me or not. I know you can be something great for somebody, even if it's not me or him. You can be something great for somebody. You just need time to grow and mature and understand that there will be times where you say, wow, I didn't like how that made me feel. And when you feel that way, you won't want to do it again. You won't do it again. Because not only does it hurt you, but it hurts the people you like and the people you love. I forgive you. And now it's it's time for me to heal and get away from you. The thought of us. I think a lobotomy might help, but probably not. Yeah, here's the house. I'm glad that we could do this together, and I could make this sweet little house with you guys here. I've always liked this format of videos. And goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. And goodbye to everybody else. I hope you have a great day.